Okay, if you've ever spent a long day on a laptop, you know the feeling I'm talking about. That slow, creeping pain in your neck. Well, this is all about a 30-day experiment I ran to find a real fix. We're going to treat our comfort like a science project, not just a random hope, and figure out what actually works, how to set it up, and how to make that pain finally go away. So, let's get into it.
You know, it always starts so innocently, doesn't it? You just pop open your laptop for a quick 5-minute edit. Next thing you know, it's 90 minutes later. You stand up and it feels like your body is staging a full-on protest. That was the moment for me. My neck had just had enough, and it was letting me know loud and clear. This isn't just a random ache. It's a huge red flag that your default setup just isn't working.
So what's the real problem here? Honestly, it's the laptop's basic design. The screen and the keyboard are stuck together, and that forces you into this impossible choice. You can either put the laptop where your hands are comfortable for typing, but then your neck is craned down looking at a super low screen. Or you can raise the whole thing up so your neck is happy, but now your hands are hovering in this really awkward, stressful position. It's a lose-lose situation.
And this right here, this is the perfect way to think about it. This isn't about you being weak or dramatic. It's just physics, plain and simple. You've got a slightly bad angle, that's the geometry, and you hold that angle for thousands and thousands of seconds, day after day, that's the repetition. It's basically compound interest, but instead of money, you're just racking up a massive debt of strain in your neck and shoulders.
And here is the secret villain in all this, the one thing that makes it all so much worse. And it's probably not what you think. It's not typing, it's reading. See, when we're reading something on screen, we tend to lean in, just a little bit, to focus. But that little bit turns into 20, 30, 40 minutes of a sustained forward head tilt. That is the silent killer for your posture. It just quietly adds up all that damage without you even noticing.
So to figure this out once and for all, I set up a little 30-day experiment. The rules were simple. Change only one thing each week. Week 1 was just my normal painful setup, laptop only. Week 2, I added a laptop stand. Week 3, I swapped that out for a big external monitor. And then in the final week, week 4, I put it all together. The whole goal was to see what really made a difference in the real world, with real work and real deadlines.
Week 1, well, it went pretty much exactly how you'd expect. It was a mess. I kept telling myself, okay, be mindful of your posture, but that would last, 10 minutes? The pattern was always the same. After about an hour, maybe 90 minutes of reading heavy work, the neck pain would show up right on schedule. And I realized my shoulders were getting sore just from hovering my arms to type. It proved one thing for sure. Your willpower is no match for a bad setup.
So, the big takeaway from week 1 was just this. The whole system was broken. Reading was definitely the biggest trigger. Those tiny tensions in my shoulders were adding up, and the second I got stressed about a deadline, any thought of good posture just flew right out the window. The problem wasn't me. The problem was that my setup made bad posture the easiest, most natural way to sit.
All right, on to week 2. Time to introduce our first fix. A simple laptop stand. The idea was to get that screen up to eye level and stop me from looking down all the time. And I gotta say, for reading, the relief was instant. It was incredible. My neck felt so much better. But, as I quickly found out, when you solve one problem, sometimes you just create a brand new one.
And this really shows the trade-off. In the best-case scenario, if you're mostly just reading and you've got a separate keyboard, a stand is amazing. It's perfect. But the worst case? If you try to type for hours on that steeply angled laptop keyboard way up in the air, you're just trading your neck pain for some really gnarly wrist and shoulder pain. So yeah, it's a fix, but it's an incomplete one. And this became my new mantra. This was the big aha moment. A laptop stand is only half of a solution. It's brilliant at fixing the screen height problem, but it creates a whole new typing problem. You absolutely need a separate keyboard on your desk to make the stand actually work the way it's supposed to.
Okay, week 3. I put the stand away and plugged in a nice big external monitor, just leaving my laptop sitting flat on the desk. And wow, this felt like such a huge upgrade. The screen was bigger, everything was clearer, I didn't have to squint or lean in. It felt amazing. But you guessed it, there was another hidden trap waiting for me.
See, a monitor is fantastic, but only if you truly commit to it as your main screen. The second you start glancing down at your laptop screen for Slack notifications or emails or whatever, you create this thing I started calling posture ping pong. You're just looking up, down, and all that neck strain comes right back. The monitor has to be the star of the show, not just a co-star.
Which brings us to the final week. Week 4, the full stack. This is where we put it all together. I had the big external monitor right in the center as my main workspace. My laptop was off to the side on its stand, acting as a secondary screen. And then I had my separate keyboard and mouse right where they should be. And let me tell you, this was it. This was the setup that finally, truly worked.
And here's why it was so effective. With everything in the right place, good posture wasn't something I had to think about anymore. It wasn't an effort. It just became the easiest, most comfortable way to work. I totally stopped thinking about my neck because the system was finally designed to help me, not to fight against me.
So after all that, what should you do? Let's turn my little experiment into some practical advice. If your day is mostly spent reading, reviewing, or editing, start with an external monitor. If you're typing for hours and hours, especially if you need a setup that's portable, go for the laptop stand and an external keyboard. And if you're putting in really long days and that pain keeps coming back, just go for both. It's the most stable solution.
Let's make it even simpler. Here's your buying order. Is your work reading heavy? Get a monitor first. Is it typing heavy? Get the stand and keyboard combo first. Are you having long sessions with those painful flare-ups? Just invest in the whole shebang. It really is the best long-term answer.
But hey, you don't actually have to buy anything to start feeling better right now. Here's a 5-minute reset you can do at your desk. First, center whatever screen you use most. Second, get the top of that screen near your eye level. Third, pull your keyboard in close so your elbows can relax by your sides. Fourth, check your chair height. And fifth, this is the most important one, create a posture interrupt. Set a timer for 30 minutes to remind yourself to just reset.
So I want to leave you with this one final question. Just look at your desk right now. Seriously. And don't think about willpower or trying to remember to sit up straight. Just ask yourself, does my setup make good posture the easiest, most automatic choice? Because if it doesn't, you're asking your body to fight a battle against your furniture all day long. And eventually, that's a battle you're going to lose.